With San Francisco wrapping up their first win against the Seattle Seahawks in Week 1, the player that really stood out the most to me on San Francisco's stifling defense was the rookie Marques Sigle out of Kansas State. When you turn on his film, for instance, he really showed off his 4.37 speed and ability to swarm to the ball, registering 6 tackles in this game, as well as a fumble recovered. And it's not just me who thought he was dominant in his first outing, as PFF gave him a run defense grade of 70.7, which ranked 12th among all safeties in the NFL, and his overall grade of 68.2 ranked 17th among all safeties in the NFL. As impressive as he was in his first outing though, I think the best is yet to come from the cornerback turn safety in Marques Sigle, as he's one of the most athletic safeties on San Francisco's roster, receiving a relative athleticism score of 9.53. So in this video, we're going to dive a little bit more deeply into the Sultan of Swarm, Marques Sigle, and what has everyone buzzing about him, as well as the areas he can continue to improve. Initially, to start out, when I turn on Sigle's film, the first thing that really jumps out to me is his ability as a run support safety. It reminds me of an old school safety like Dante Hittner or even Deshaun Goldston. Initially, to really illustrate this point, on this play, the Seattle Seahawks are running an inside zone with their offensive linemen trying to make their way up to the second level to set up clear running lanes for this back. And pre-snap, you gotta love how Sigle is communicating throughout the secondary, and then takes his read step almost like a linebacker, sees the gap forming in the offensive line, and he's so quick to identify these plays, and then he plays with his hair on fire, meeting this back in the hole, breaking down in the open space, and making the secure open field tackle. And I really love that aspect about Sigle's game. He has the ability to be the eraser. Once everyone else messes up on the defensive side of the ball, he's there to say, well, it's going no farther, and it ends with me. What this allows Robert Saleh to do is get a lot more flexible and creative on the defensive side of the ball. He can stack up people on the line of scrimmage and put Marques Sigle deep and say, make sure no one goes deeper than you, and he actually can do it. Here, for example, Sigle is lined up as San Francisco's lone deep safety, with the Seattle Seahawks running a toss play, attempting to capture the edge of San Francisco's defense. And honestly, they do a pretty great job at it. Not only does his back have a secure lane, he's also able to break Luke Gifford's tackle right here, and if not for Sigle coming over the top, this would have easily been a touchdown on this play. Another thing I really want to highlight about this play is Sigle's ability to play sideline to sideline. Because he does possess 4.37 speed, he's able to make plays like this. You can see how quickly he's actually able to close in on this ball carrier while coming up, and then you see right here, if he's not there, it's a touchdown. While mainly so far I've been focusing on Sigle's ability as a traditional safety, one of his best skills in my opinion is the versatility he offers San Francisco's defense, because not only does he have cornerback experience, he can line up like a box safety, almost like another linebacker, and come on blitzes. Here once again, for instance, the Seattle Seahawks are running a toss play with Saleh getting aggressive as sending Sigle on the blitz. And pre-snap, I really want to highlight what I like about Saleh as a defensive coordinator. Rather than just looping Sigle around, he has his defensive end slant inwards before the play. He shifts over, and then Sigle has the ability to come up and blow up this tight end. And it's really great how aggressive Sigle is at attacking blocks, because it allows him to blow him up, and here you can see how he's able to actually disengage even though this tight end's kind of holding him right here, and he's able to get in on the tackle. Outside of Sigle's versatility he offers, arguably more important for his safety is his ability to swarm to the ball carrier, and that's why John Lynch gave him the nickname the Sultan of Swarm. Here for instance, pre-snap, once again, I love how he's communicating with the rest of his defense, takes his read step, and he's flowing to this ball carrier aggressively, throwing his body in on this tackle. I love that level of aggression, because I think it wears on the team as the game goes. Another thing about a player that's always swarming to the ball carrier, you're going to notice they're getting a lot more lucky, a lot of people would say, than the player that's not. That's because they're always around the ball, and here in this game, that was really shown off by Marques Sigle's first fumble recovery in his young NFL career. On this little bubble screen pre-snap, for instance, you wouldn't expect Sigle to be in on this play because he is the safety farthest away from it. But because he's so quick to identify it and has crazy athleticism, he's able to close, and I love how he attacks the ball on the ground, covering himself up. As I was highlighting earlier, Sigle is also an extremely versatile player, not just in his run defense, but also his pass coverage, as he can go ahead and man up basically on anyone because of his background as a cornerback. And despite being a rookie, Saleh has the faith in him to go do it, even in big time situations. Here, for instance, facing third down, Saleh says, "Go shut down that tight end." And on this play, 88 is running an outbreaking route about 5 yards down the field, and initially, Sigle does an excellent job of disrupting his route with a two-handed press technique, and even with this little shove off, Sigle is able to respond once again because he is such a freak athlete, and even though the tight end made the catch on this play, because Sigle blanketed him the entire time, they picked up no yards. And once again, this is a high-stakes situation as it is on third down, but every single time Sigle is given the opportunity, he rises to it. Outside of Sigle's ability as a man coverage defender, I also liked him in a traditional safety alignment and being the eraser there in a similar way he was in his run defense. Here, for example, Sigle is lined up in the middle third of San Francisco's defense, and that's what he's responsible for in zone coverage. And initially on this play, he does a pretty nice job of identifying this wide receiver breaking over the middle, so he breaks there as well, but Sam Darnold then breaks outside of the pocket, so Sigle tries to identify which man he's trying to throw to, and with 2 men inside his zone, we get to see Sigle make a rare rookie mistake. He triggers on the wrong man, and Sam Darnold's able to make the completion on this play, but once again Siegel's able to get there and stops it for overall not a terrible gain. And I get it, some people would look at this play and say he was terrible there, but to me, it shows a rookie that's growing, and I'm excited to see that growth throughout the season because this is probably the worst game or one of the worst games we're going to see from him. Speaking about growth, one of the biggest areas I'm expecting Sigle to grow throughout the season is balancing his aggression and playing under control. On this play, for instance, the Seattle Seahawks are running a bubble screen, and Sigle does an excellent job of identifying it and making his way into the backfield. But because he is so quick to identify this, he doesn't come in under control and break down like we saw in the previous play, but rather shoots his head down and this back is able to make him miss. Personally though, I much rather prefer a rookie like Sigle who's playing with his hair on fire, fearlessly, and attacking ball carriers every single play, because even right here, it does slow down this ball carrier. And honestly, overall, when I'm looking at Sigle as a player for Robert Saleh's defense, he seems like the perfect fit. He has the versatility to go shut down basically any tight end or wide receiver in the league because of his raw athleticism, and he also can come up and play like a box safety, almost like another linebacker. And while Sigle is a rookie and definitely will have rookie mistakes, I think headed forward, he has the potential to be an all-pro safety in San Francisco's defense. But ultimately, these are just some of my thoughts on San Francisco's rookie safety and Marques Sigle, and I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. It would also mean a ton to me if you did enjoy this video, if you could go ahead and like and subscribe. It truly helps out the channel a ton, and as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.